we're back. We're back again for more doing Paradox. I am really excited to get back into it. So much happened last time. So much happened all of the time. And I still have no idea what's going on. So let's get back into it. Welcome to the stream. I'm excited to find out what's going on. If any of the volumes are weird, please let me know. Someone did tell me that the game volume was a bit quiet last time, so I have turned it up a bit this time. But let me know if it's too much or anything, and I'll edit it. But let's load our game. I got someone with me today. You noticed. So yeah, we're getting back into it. What happened last time even? We got recruited as a clown magical girl. There's other magical girls. We fight vectors. We need to rasterize the vectors. And there's hot villain girl. And someone with a gun. And maybe they're not villains, we don't know. The guy who I said was sussy was sussy. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's what happened last time, maybe. So I guess we're just going to continue on and see if we can find out anything that's going on in this game. Maybe see more Avir again. So bright. The bright light of the morning sun roused me from my slumber. I've overslept since I didn't sleep well the night before. The academy is still closed, so there's no reason I can't sleep in awe. I mean, something good came out of it at least, the horrible attack on the academy. But sleeping more would just make me feel down, so I rolled out of my bed and went to my computer. A new message was waiting for me. It's from Uncle Yashima, sauce. I leapt into my desk chair and hurriedly opened the email, desperate for his reply. Was this voiced before? I don't remember it being voiced before. I don't know. First, I want to say that I'm relieved you're okay and that your injury wasn't serious. I understand they couldn't reply immediately. I can see you're terribly distressed about your friend since she was hurt, and you can't visit her. I think the game volume might be a little loud, me talking over the voices, so I'm going to turn it down a touch. Let me know how it is, if it's too quiet or anything, and I'll mess with it. I can see you're terribly distressed about your friend since she's hurt and you can't visit her. As you said, this would be the best time for me to see you and offer my support in person. But unfortunately, that's not possible. Why? Why not, Uncle? I'm truly sorry, but at the very least, I'll endeavour to answer your question as best as I can. So, I definitely can't see him. Although I already knew that, I couldn't shake my disappointment, but as I continued reading, those feelings vanished. It's difficult enough to figure out what you believe in, but even more so if you don't know who to believe. There will be times when you believe in someone and the outcome isn't what you want. But you shouldn't blame the other person. You can choose to believe in them, you can't blame others for your decision. This is the longest email we've ever had from this uncle, right? If you decide to believe in something, then examine those feelings in earnest. If you can truly face yourself, in the end, you'll see what you want to do rather than just what you believe.
自分がどうしたいかが見えてくる。自分がしたいと思うこと。
Oh, what you actually want to do is what you should believe in. You won't regret your choice if you think it through carefully. Oh. What I really want to do is see Moravia again. I'd fallen into a cycle of doubt, but the scales fell from my eyes when I read those words. Huh? I realised I'd been too pessimistic to think I couldn't believe in anyone. That kind of attitude won't solve my problems. Oh, wait, there's more. God, this is the longest email we've ever had from him. I thought that was the end of the email, but my uncle had written down a little more further down. I want to say one more thing. I said you shouldn't blame someone for betraying you if you put your trust in them, but I sincerely hope that you won't have to go through that at all. I pray you'll find someone who you can truly believe in. I mean, I like your words, funny man, but I don't trust you at all. Thank you, Uncle Yashima. Every word conveyed how much he cared. He was usually like that, but perhaps it came across stronger now because of how vulnerable I felt. But now's not the time to wallow. Uncle Yashima is right. I need to determine what I want to do. I closed my eyes and tried to listen to my heart. I found I already knew the answer. I want to see Liz. She might be hurt and locked up somewhere, and I need to help her. I'll make sure I get her this time. And to do that, I'll meet with Moravia to— Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Yes! I need to try and find Moravia. Search the town or search... I'm gonna search everywhere because I don't think she'll be hanging about town. I can't seem to find her. I searched all around the academy and the business district to no avail. Now I was tackling the residential district. I would have asked how to contact her if I knew she'd be this difficult to find. Hello, Nyeko, welcome to the stream! I thought I should give up, but just as I was about to leave, a cheerful voice rang out through the otherwise dismal atmosphere. Found ya! Okay. It's one of the boys. One of the boys is here. I recognized the voice, which was coming from atop a destroyed train. Yukinami! It's the man with the fingernails. I was about to accuse him of wreaking havoc again, and when I realised that he didn't... I was about to accuse him of wreaking havoc again, when I realised that he said didn't quite add up. Were you looking for me? How did you even know who I was? I haven't transformed. Girl, I hate to break it to you, but you look exactly the fucking same. I never undid my transformation during our battle, so how do you know I was part of the Blooms? I heard about it. You heard? Yep, I didn't care about finding you, but Moravia instead. What? Oh, Moravia insisted. I can't read. Come on, let's go. You want to see Moravia, right? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Wait, I do, but only because I want help to help Liz. She's my best friend. I need to know how to save her, so please let me speak with Moravia first. What's a best friend? I don't get it. Someone who's important to me. I would do anything for her, so please tell Moravia. That you want to see her? Look, I'm only here because Moravia told me to be. I'm not going to run your errands. Little bastard, man. Little bastard. This sprite's cute though. I bit my lip, expecting our negotiation to fall through, but Yukinami sighed with resignation and took out his phone. This is a real pain, you know that. But since I found you, I have to call, or I'll get yelled at. Hey, I found her. Yeah, she wants to meet, so I just tell her you'll save her. Okay, got it. They're just like, yeah, get her what she wants. Okay, so you're... What did you call her? Best friend? Moravia is gonna save her, so you can just come with me to the outside. It's chill, it's whatever. Really? But wait a minute. Outside? You mean outside Theta? Of course, that's where Moravia is. I don't care what has to be done, as long as Liz is okay. I want to thank Moravia if she helps her, but I won't go on the outside. An amused expression crossed Yukinami's face. Do you really think you can stay in Theta after this? Oh my god, what does this mean? What does this... I'll accept any punishment for seeking your help. I know they might not forgive me. That's not what I meant. Your best friend or whatever could have already turned into a vector? You can't just drop that shit on us. What the fuck? What the fuck? A vector, what are you talking about? I froze upon hearing those shocking words, which Yukinami apparently found hilarious. Haha, you seriously don't know anything. Anyone attacked by a vector turns into one. Holy shit. Wait, then that means Liz... Moravia said she'd save her, so your friend might still have a chance. In any event, I've changed my mind about you. It'll be fun to have you around. So you're coming with me no matter what. And that's that. Yukinami's words filled me with dread, and for a fleeting moment, I had no idea what to do. I can't just stand here forever. I made my choice, so I have to follow through. Yeah. That was a bombshell. My own decisions, Liz's safety, the fact that I'm going with the enemy, that's a lot to consider. But I can't stay stuck in the same place. Little by little, I began to relax. There's no turning back. I've made my choice and I have to keep moving forward. Over here! We can get out of the colony this way. Just a second, if we're going outside, I need to transform. The balloons made it very clear that I should never leave the colony without transforming first. Whoosh! There, that should do it. Huh. Yukinami watched me transform with a curious look on his face. Apparently he didn't need to do anything before going out. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but wow, he's really going outside like that? Dressed like that? I had no further doubts. Yukinami was an unusual being, to say the least. Oh, wait. Why is this sprite cute, though? Why is this sprite cute, though? Hi, Drift. Welcome to the stream. Oh, the vector life is for me. Oh, the vector life is the vector life for me. Is he a vector? I don't know. I braced myself and left Theta alongside Yukinami. My sense of unease grew. Girl time. Yes, it's... Hi Jojo, welcome to the stream. It's girl time. I got a girl here with me today. And we're gonna go see a girl. If you've missed the start of the stream, we got a really long ass email from Uncle Yashima. And we decided to go look for Moravia. Yukinami was there and he's being bastard like usual, but he's taking us to see Moravia, so it's okay actually. And also we had a massive fucking bombshell dropped on us, that our good friend Liz from last time is possibly a vector now, possibly turned into a vector because she was attacked by a vector. Yeah. He sure did drop that bombshell on us. I braced myself and left Vita alongside Yukinami. My sense of unease grew. Yukinami said Moravia would save Liz if we wait here. Is she actually going to come? I made up my own mind to go with them, but my decision was mostly driven by fear. I couldn't let myself feel totally okay with it. And what's all this about people turning into vectors after being attacked by one? Is that a thing that's really happening? I kind of suspected as much. Suspected what? That humans really are totally weak. Fuck you. Yippee, it's girl time. Yippee, there's so much happening here. I stiffened at his remark, but I continued in the airy tone of I stiffened at his remark, but he continued in the airy tone of someone making pleasant small talk. Why are his sprites cute? He's not allowed to be that cute. It's rude. He's a bastard, but he's cute. It's so rude. Why is he trying to be my type, though? You've got to transform to leave the colony. Talk about a huge pain in the butt. Of course, he was referring to how I shifted before we left Theta. I got to put my clown outfit on before we left. It's not that inconvenient when you consider how normal people need to put on an entire protective suit to go outside. But if Yukinami didn't even need to transform, I could see why he'd consider it a hassle. Okay, well, compared to what you can do, it's a bit of a pain. You can just step outside, right? That's right. Now you're thinking about how awesome I am, right? You are. Admit it. I'm being targeted. Yeah. Is it any surprise that I'm specifically being targeted by all of like the villain characters though? Unfortunately, that is the way. He's such a little gremlin man. Fuck. Whoa, he just lit right up, didn't he? Feeling pressured to agree, I nodded. Sure, you're awesome, I guess. You guess, come on, is that all? Now he seems unsure of himself. He's got some pretty extreme mood swings going on. It wouldn't be a good idea to offend him, and to be honest, he was kind of awesome. Yeah, you're really something, Yukinami. Frankly, I'm blown away by how cool you are. Come on, as if he's gonna buy that. I sure can't do what you can do. In fact, I don't think I know anyone who's like you. So yeah, I think you're pretty amazing. My compliment rang in hollow ears, but I waited to see how Yukinami would react. I know, right? I'm amazing. Well, at least he thought that sounded sincere. Yeah, I won't buy it, mate. Was he dense or simply innocent? I wasn't sure how to handle him. He seemed like a different person than the one I fought. Yukinami suddenly spotted something and waved. They're here! Hey, over here! You just outed yourself, man. You just fucking outed yourself as a villain this whole time. I looked in the direction he was waving and I saw Moravia with Rio. They were heading towards us. I realized Rio was carrying Liz in his arms and dashed over to meet them. Liz! Liz, hang in there! Liz's eyes stayed shut. She didn't respond at all. Oh no. My OBS is dying. Why? Huh. Is my OBS back, everyone? Can you can you hear me? My OBS disconnected for a hot minute. I don't know why. It just did. Is it back now? Is it good? I'm back. I'm back. Thank you. I don't know why that happened. Okay, I hope I didn't miss much. I don't know when it had a moment, but Rio is just out here outing himself and also has Liz with him. Yeah. Relax, she's just heavily sedated. Sedated? Does that mean she's got medical treatment? It doesn't seem like her wounds are dressed. So they seriously just like go, oh, you've been attacked by a vector. Well, see ya. I was relieved, but something about the picture didn't seem quite right. Yeah, this man's here. Why is Rio here though? It doesn't make any sense for him to be working with Moravia. She's the enemy. Well, it's not like me being here makes her total lot of sense either. Are you literally gonna just like brush this under the carpet? Like, yeah, no, it's fine. No, there's definitely something fishy about Rio. Why are you here, Rio? Because I was evil and bastard all along. Sharp as a wet noodle, aren't you? You don't have to insult me. Rio rolled his eyes at my reaction to his presence. I mean, you look so comfortable around Moravia. Moravia grinned at this and lightly slapped Rio on the back. Hear that? Comfortable, she says. Nice, eh? Oh, I missed you, Moravia. I missed you, bitch. What's so nice about it? She's talking like I'm some kind of background prop that's not supposed to stick out. I hurriedly jumped in as Rio hissed at Moravia. That's not what I was implying. Rio wasn't giving off the vibes of an enemy. He was just negative, period. I shrugged it off and turned to Moravia. Yeah, ignore him. This ain't about him. This ain't about him. This is about Moravia. Mwah. I bowed my head to her respectfully. Moravia, thanks so much for rescuing Liz. Hehe, don't mention it. That's when I realized Moravia wasn't wearing any protective gear either. She and Yukinami were really unusual. But wait, Rio, do you have a protective suit? You can't go outside without... I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's girl time. Yes, it's girl time. Don't worry about it, but isn't Rio a regular human being? Or is he secretly a vector too? He sure seems to be on good terms with the vectors, so it's certainly possible, but... Stop being cute though. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, can we get moving already? Yukinami seemed bored with the conversation. Let's get away from here. We can go over the specifics later. I want to go to Moravia's house. Yeah, you're right. If we keep hanging around the outer wall, someone is bound to spot us sooner or later. I obediently followed Moravia and the others as we moved away from the theater. What the fuck is going on though? Whoa, look at the sky. Okay, but the sky really do be the same like image colors as our like clown out there. Wait, I remember some people didn't see it last time and it's like not been in the game. Let me try and find a image. Let me see if I can find an image of the clown outfit. I wish Google would have some images for me. It would be really nice of it. Okay. Let me get this image. I need people to see the clown outfit. Okay. Here is the clown outfit though. Like, she be out here looking like this. Looking like this. It's such a clown ass outfit. It's so clown. But yeah, like the colors on this, very similar to the sky though. What's going on, lol? So yeah. We walk across the sprawling wasteland for what felt like hours. Toothpaste outfit, oh god, you're right. It's got the vibes of the new Fire Emblem protagonist. The fucking red, white, and blue. I think it's the ruffles and stuff as well. Like it's so clown. It's so extremely clown of her. Sometimes you just gotta be a clown. It's fine. We walked across the sprawling wasteland for what felt like hours. The scenery was exactly the same no matter where you looked. I soon lost my bearings. Come to think of it, where are we going? I just followed without asking questions. Well, they do have Liz, so... I was a little late for that realization. It wasn't like I could go back. If I wanted to save Liz, this was my only option. If it meant saving Liz's life, then I don't care if I have to team up with the enemy. I gazed at Moravia ahead of me. She had taken Liz from here and was now carrying her. Oh my god, Queen, you're so strong. Moravia was walking with light steps, unbothered by Liz. Oh my god, Queen, you're so strong. We love a strong woman. Unbothered by Liz's weight, there was no way a regular human could carry another grown person so effortlessly. How long are we going to keep walking anyway? We've been walking for ages, but no signs of civilization appeared on the horizon. How long would it take to see another man-made object? It's so vast out here. I was starting to realise how enormous the world really was. I thought theatre was plenty big, but it was nothing compared to the outside. He's here. Howdy! Whoa! Yeah, same. I thought Yukiyama was walking in front of me, so when he popped up and thrust his face in mine, I yelped in shock. You're looking up and down and all around. What's up? I was just thinking about how huge the outside world is. This is my first time leaving theatre. There was no sense in hiding it, so I told him exactly what was on my mind. Yukiyama made his face as if he was unimpressed. He's so sarcastic, like, not sarcastic, but what's the, like, he looks down on everyone, it looks like it. It's kind of bastard of him. Seriously, you know nothing about the life outside of those stuffy colony walls. Sheesh, no wonder the outside world seems big. Yeah, I can't even tell up from down. What? You don't even know the difference? Oh, of course I knew. It's just a figure of speech. I'm saying I know nothing about the outside world. I feel sorry for you. I blinked, my jaw falling open slightly in surprise. What makes you say that? Do you even know how tiny and cramped theatre is? You're like an animal that was raised in a cage. But hey, you came out of your cage and you're doing just fine. Take care, you don't get lost. Having said his piece, Yukiyama skipped off to catch up with Moravia. Raised in a cage, huh? He wasn't too far off the mark, to be honest. His manner of speaking was direct, but he wasn't being malicious or offensive. And when I gave some deeper thought onto what he said, a wave of emotion hit me hard. Where are we going, lol? After many hours of walking, a colony's dome broke over the horizon. That's a colony, right? It looks like it's in bad shape. Is it abandoned? As I gazed at the ruined colony, Moravia lifted a hand and pointed. Oh, she's from another colony. That's our colony, Tau. Your colony? You mean that's where the Vectors live? Moravia nodded with an air of someone of being forced to state the obvious. Yup, humans lived there some time ago. When it was abandoned, we snagged it. You and Liz are welcome to settle in Tau. It's not like going back to Theta is an option, right? I think I'm really on the villain route now. Oh no, we're really in it now. Right, thanks. I mean... Hello? Yukinami, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Get out of here, Yukinami! Stop it! We're locked into villain. Yeah, like, there's no hero or villain gauge anymore. We're just in the villain now. Yeah, I think... Why wasn't Yukinami's route? Why is... Yeah? How did we get here? Right, thanks. That's when I truly realised I've never been able to go back to my old life. It hurt deeply. At the same time, I was relieved I had somewhere new to live. Still, I was going through a complex range of emotions, that much was certain. How much do you reckon Uncle Yashima is here? I think he probably is. The colony's original water, plumbing, and electrical systems are all still operational. I think you'll find it quite comfortable here. Wow, so you actually live here? Like, people? That's rude, you can't ask that. I must have my thoughts out loud. It was hard for me to picture the otherworldly Moravia and Yukinami doing normal human things. His little pouty face. Yukinami turned around and looked at me with a disgruntled expression on his face. What? I deserve this. I deserve this. What? Are we not allowed to live like people? You're making fun of us, aren't you? What? No, not at all. But I wasn't sure how to explain what I meant. My words stuck in my throat and I hesitated. When I thought about my interactions with Yukinami since leaving, I realised he had a major mood swings and I wasn't so sure what triggered them. Yeah, that time you being a bitch triggered them, I'm sorry. Should I try and explain what I meant, or will that just annoy him even further? Still, keeping quiet gives off the wrong impression. As I grappled with myself, Moravia threw me a lifeline. Yukinami, there'll be plenty of time to play with Cirrus going forward. Right now, we need to get back to Tau. You might not be tired, but I am. Yukinami's expression dialed down to neutral. Moravia's words clearly had an effect on him. Alright. Point noted. I was surprised how quickly Yukinami obeyed Moravia's instructions. I didn't think Yukinami was the type to obey others. I guess I was wrong. What kind of relationship do these two have anyway? Well, I'll go on ahead and make sure we're all set. Catch you later. Yeah, this city's cool because clearly they have guns here. Yukinami dashed off towards Tau. Within moments, he was out of sight. Hey, Moravia, Yukinami really respects you, doesn't he? Well, we go back a long way. Moravia sounded wistful as she was recalling some events from a long time ago. They go back a long way, huh? Almost sounds like normal human friendship. Well, obviously they're all humans that turned into Vector, right? That has to be it. Up until this point, I considered Moravia and her companion and her comrades to be Vectors, albeit sentient ones. I've never made any attempt to get to know them. Yeah, ignorant! Ignorant! But since it seemed we'll be living together from now on, I need to start making an effort. We've been fighting since day one, but I should try and see things from their perspective more. They did say he lives his life after all. I really hope Liz wakes up soon. Is she gonna wake up a Vector is the question though. What a banger OST though. Banger. Banger alert. Welcome to Tau. I can turn it up a bit so you can hear this banger. Oh my god, this song is good. Wow, so this is where you all live. I couldn't help but gawk and wonder. I never visited any colonies outside Theta. I was surrounded by crumbling ruins all around me. Everything was in a state of decay. It was a ghost of a town, the exact opposite of Theta. I couldn't believe the water and electricity was still operational. Oh, they're vibing! They're pure vibing in the moment. I walked down the street behind Moravia and spotted vectors lumbering here and there. The vectors, they're completely docile. It's kind of weird to not be attacked by them. Speaking of Yukinami said that people who are attacked by vectors turn into vectors themselves. Were they all human once too? An uneasy, prickly feeling rose up in my chest. He's so far away. Moravia, everything's ready. I looked over and saw Yukinami waving. Hyuga stood behind him, clearly annoyed. If Hyuga's here, then that must mean dinner's ready. Moravia gently passed Liz off to Ryo, who gathered her in his arms. First off, Liz needs to get to bed. I'll explain everything to Hyuga. Ryo, be a gentleman and show the ladies to their rooms. The music's too loud for me now. Turn it down. It's a banger though. Alright. Ryo started walking, clearly confident about where he was headed. He shot me a glance as he passed. Come on, this way. Right! He headed off in the opposite direction from where Yukinami and Hyuga had come from. I hurriedly followed along. Oh, such a lovely place to stay. We wound up at a building that was in good condition. At least compared to the others. Apparently, it had been rebuilt to some degree. When I entered, I immediately learned it was much cleaner than the other ruins too. It's tidy and well kept. I wasn't expecting that. I decided to keep my thoughts to myself. I didn't want to repeat of putting my foot in my mouth like I'd had with Yukinami earlier. I'm not even aware I'm doing it. Thoughtless remarks about how they live just spring to mind. It's really rude of me. Well, thank you for saying that. Yes. Mean earlier. You should find all your basic amenities here. Take whichever room you want and feel free to use whatever you find in the building. Going by Ryo's manner of speaking and his knowledge of where everything was, it was clear he'd visited this place frequently. Why is it like a zombie apocalypse room? Ryo entered one of the many empty rooms and gently laid Liz out on the bed. We've been on the move for quite a while, but Liz should be able to get some rest now. Is Liz alright? She had an antibody shot before leaving Theta. She says she should wake up pretty soon. Really? Ooh, that's good. I don't think she's gonna wake up Liz anymore. I think she's gonna be a vector. I wasn't sure what an antibody shot was exactly, but it sounded like some kind of medicine. First and foremost, I was happy to hear that Liz would be waking up soon. Where Liz was before all this, she wasn't in a hospital, was she? Ryo's answer was prompt and short. She was in the Research District's restricted zone. Why there of all places? I heard that people who are attacked by vectors turn into them. Is that true? And if so, do the researchers know about it? That's not really something I can tell you. I can tell you this much though. There's no way those researchers don't know what the vectors truly are. I knew it. Sauce. I nodded thoughtfully as I digested Rose's words. I get it, yeah. I felt like I touched on something vast and dangerous, but I had no idea what. The commander says he's affiliated with the research district. He must have known about Liz, but even then... Rio, I should have said this earlier, but thanks so much for saving Liz. I bowed my head like I did with Moravia earlier. No thanks necessary. I just felt like helping out. So are you friends with the Vectors then? I tried to phrase my question as respectfully as possible. I was in Rio's debt after all. I'm not their friend, but I'm not their enemy. We just share mutual interests. But that means you're affiliated with them, even though you support the Blooms. Does the commander know about all this? Who can say? Rio's vague answer was irritating in the extreme. I needed something more concrete from him, but before I could press the issue... He's here. Hey, you gonna eat in here? He finally took off that awful hoodie. The door swung open, and suddenly Yukinami poked his head around the doorframe. I'm leaving now. Bring her food to her, will you? I don't recall agreeing to take orders from you. Rio ignored Yukinami's protest and looked at me. If you need help, just ask one of the others. I'm off now. See ya. With that, Rio got up and left before I could even respond. When Yukinami and I were alone, he turned to me. He peered at my face, then beamed. Yeah? Yeah? Huh. Even though I was thoughtless earlier, he doesn't seem to be the least bit angry anymore. I don't trust this. His charming smile was infectious, and I found myself softening up towards him. When he smiles like that, he comes across as any regular boy. It's a far cry from the grunts he wears when he's fighting. I knew it wasn't very smart to drop my guard until very recently. We've been bitter enemies, but his smile was breaking down my defenses. Weak! Yukinami, how old are you? I asked the question as soon as it came to mind. In years? I don't know really. No one's ever told me. Pretty sure I'm older than you though. Bold statement. From the way he speaks and acts, I thought he was my age or younger, but maybe he's actually older than he looks. Yukinami seemed to be excited by my question. He leaned forward expectantly. Hey, wanna know some stuff about me? Sure. Oh. Wait. Oh no, we're on the Yukinami route now. We're really in it now, Yukinami. Well, this is where we're at, lol. Sure, I'd like that. Moravia, I still love you, it's okay. It was an honest answer. I was curious after all. That said, I had an underlying reason for answering the way I did. Going by our interactions thus far, I think Yukinami prefers direct questions to wishy-washy attempts to sugarcoat what I want to say. Just like a child. I am on the Yukinami route. I am Yukinami time. You really want to know about me? Yukinami's eyes sparkled in delight, and I knew my hunch had been correct. The thing is, he is the most Gremlin character we've come across so far, so it is kind of fitting. It is kind of fitting for me. Really, I mean it. Tell me more about yourself. If I buttered him up nicely, I'd have a chance of getting some vital information. It was a sensible plan, but I still felt a deep pang. A pang of guilt for deceiving him. That was awkwardly broken up. So what do you want to know? So for starters, you're a Vector? He is a bit Cirrus core. I mean, you don't have to out me like this. Of course I'm a vector. So am Moravia and Hugo. So you're all... I stopped myself mid-sentence. Yikes, that was close. If I suggested they're vectors who look like humans, he might get upset again. So are there other vectors who look like you three? And that think and talk and stuff? Nope. As far as I know, we're the only ones in Tao who can do this kind of thing. How long have you been living here? Since way back. Well, that's vague. I just want to know how many years he's been here, but I don't want to offend him by asking the wrong thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to say as well, I was having a think about like, how the hero and like villain like gauges work the other day, and like with the questions, like the options you have to pick, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think like depending on how full each gauge is, that will like put you on the route. Like I don't think it really matters what you answer on like the big decision ones. I could be wrong though, but I was having a think. How long have you been hanging around with Moravia and Hugo then? Since Moravia came here, I've been with her the whole time. The words came here had significance. So, in other words, they came here from someplace else. Yukinami spoke up before I could confirm. Hugo came along later. I picked him up. Just like a cat. It looks like a stray cat. You picked him up? Yukinami's choice of words was odd. At the same time, they confirmed all of them had come to the colony from other places. What do you mean by you picked up Hugo? It's exactly what it sounds like. He was sprawled out on the ground, bleeding like heck. I picked him up off the ground and brought him home. I got Moravia to help me fix him up, and he's lived with us ever since. It sounds more like Yukinami saved him than simply picked him up. Yukinami seemed to regard the world from a skewed point of view compared to humans. Then again, my idea of normal was null here. I realised I needed to keep an open mind. Do only vectors live in Tao? Mostly. Well, I guess that Ryo's a human. Mostly, so not everyone here is a vector. It's fucking Uncle Yashima. I know it's you, Uncle Yashima. I was puzzled for a moment, but then the realization hit me. Ah, I get it. He doesn't count me as a vector. That's why he's a mostly. Ryo seemed to go back and forth between the colonies due to support role for the blooms, so it wouldn't be considered a resident of Tao. I decided to ask Yukinami about Ryo. Does Ryo come here often? He drops by every now and again. He brings us most of our amenities. I can't help but notice your questions are getting off topic about me! What? Have they? I mean, they're not direct questions about Yukinami, but they do involve the things around him. I think he wants to be the center of the discussion. Alright, ask her a Yukinami-centric question. So, Yukinami... Oh. Ah! My stomach! That growl sounded like a wild animal trying to get out of a cage. Alright, food! The rumbling in my belly seemed to jostle Yukinami's memory. He hurried to the door. I'll bring it on up. You wait right there. He left without waiting for a response. He scuttles off like a little creature. That was beyond embarrassing. My stomach might have well barked out its demands to be fed. But Yukinami didn't seem to care much, which is the only saving grace about this fiasco. Maybe vectors don't care about rumbly tummies. A rumbly tummy. He sure didn't talk. He should have talked though. If I can stay on his good side, I can probably get tons more info from him. I heard a muted moan and realised it come from Liz. Liz, you're awake, thank goodness. Liz opened her eyes a bit and I rushed over to her bedside. Where am I? Liz's eyes focused on me and she tried to sit up. Panicked, I gently pushed her back down. Take it slow, Liz. You need to rest. Just lie down for now. As I tried to get Liz to settle back, she started to look around the room fearfully. Don't worry, this is a safe place. Just relax. I began explaining things to Liz, taking care to stay light out of the grisly details so I wouldn't upset her. Unfortunately, I still managed to spark some of her bad memories. Right, I was attacked by some kind of monster. And then? Oh, Liz, please stay calm. I'm right here with you. Oh, poor Liz. She's good. She doesn't deserve this. I repeated soothing words to Liz as I gently stroked her head. Why does this sound like a fucking haunted game? It's like creaking down the corridor. I heard a noise behind us and turned to see Yukinami return with a tray. I opened my mouth to say his name, but quickly swallowed my greeting. Oh, he's grumpy. He's grumpy now. For some reason, as soon as Yukinami saw Liz, his smile faded. His glare was so icy, I shivered. Yukinami jump scare moments. Did I say something to offend him again? But I haven't done anything this time. Is she awake? Do you have eyes, Yukinami? Do you have fucking eyes? Oh yeah, she just woke up, but she seems to be really weak. I think she's rested for quite some time. Ah, I see. Neither Yukinami's tone nor his words were sharp, but his attitude and tone made it clear he was deeply bothered about something. I'll just leave your dinner here. Bye now. He's grumpy. It scuttles away. Yukinami put down the tray which had 2 dinners on it, then he left the room. What was that all about? I had no idea what could have put him in such a foul mood. Whew, that was kind of freaky. That guy, he's a little on the scary side, isn't he? I don't know if I'd say scary. It seems more like he was annoyed about something. Suddenly I realised I was feeling defensive. He was certainly a formidable foe when we fought. Even now I get the feeling I shouldn't let my guard down around him. And yet, girl, you've known him for like 5 minutes. Calm down. I recalled the innocent smile he flashed just moments ago. And I realised I simply couldn't write him off as scary. Liz looked at me, confused. So, you know that guy pretty well? I wouldn't go as far as to say as I know him well, but I guess I know him a bit now. I don't think he's a bad guy. I mean, probably not. I knew my answer didn't inspire confidence, but honestly, I wasn't sure what else to say. Oh, right. You think you can eat something? This soup and bread looks delicious. If you think you can manage it, let's have dinner together, okay? Okay, I can try to eat. That dinner wasn't for her, lol. I helped Liz sit up and we began eating dinner together. Wow, this soup is really good. It really is. It's warming me up too. Yukinami brought it up here, but probably didn't cook it right. So then, who did? Obviously it was Hyuga. He was stuck there with him. Liz and I chatted while we ate. I tried to keep the conversation light. To sit and chat with Liz like this, and this was not too long ago. I couldn't see her at all. It felt like a miracle, really. Yukinami said that people who are attacked by vectors will turn into one themselves. Maybe Liz would have also turned into a mindless monster if she hadn't received the antibody shot. She deserves to steal Yukinami's soup. I think Liz deserves a little soup. It is the season of soup, after all. It wasn't the commander or the blooms that saved both Liz and me. No, the vectors that saved us, our enemies. Our past aside, I owed everything to them. I still need to be careful about lowering my guard, but I should get to know them better. It's villain time, baby. I convinced Liz to lie back down and rest as soon as we were done eating. I was still worried about her condition. Liz fell into a deep sleep as soon as she lay back down. She was clearly exhausted. Her sleep looked much more peaceful now, so much better than when she was sedated. Alright, I'll go clean these dishes and leave Liz to get some sleep. I looked around the building until I found a sink and quickly washed the bowls and tray. I selected the room next to Liz's and decided to turn in for the night. Yawn! I'm so tired. There's still not much time to think about. There's still so much to think about, but for now, it's time to sleep. Uncle Yashima's 100% here, isn't he? The next morning, I searched for Yukinami carrying yesterday's tray. The roaming vectors still set me on edge, but they made no move to attack me. I tried to put them out of my mind. So did we just like chat with Liz while transformed? Or I'm assuming we transformed back when we got into the city? Never actually specified. Anyway, if I'm going to live here, I guess I better get used to them at some point. I found Yukinami after a brief search. Yukinami's mood changed at a drop of a hat. I wonder what he's feeling right now. I mentally prepared myself to handle anything as I headed over to him. Yukinami, thank you for bringing us dinner yesterday. Cirrus! His face lit up the second he saw me. I had apparently caught him in a good mood. Did you eat everything? Yes, it tasted great, thank you. I just thought I should bring the tray back. Oh, you even went to the trouble of washing it. I'll put it away. Wait there. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. Yukinami turned to dash off before I could stop him. He told me to wait, but I was hoping to get back to Liz as soon as possible. I guess I may as well wait. Maybe there's something else he needs me for. I gazed absently at the sky while I waited. Outside, the real sky is terribly overcast, the total opposite of what it looks like in here. Well, this is a colony sky after all. I'm amazed it's still operational given the state of this place is in. I let my thoughts wander freely before long. Yukinami returned. Thanks for waiting! It's fine, but do you need me for something? Yukinami grinned and nodded. Hey, let's talk some more, okay? I've been thinking, you've got like superpowers, right? That sounds really cool. Show me some. Wow, he's all up in my face, but I think it's just innocent curiosity. Nothing bad. I nodded in agreement, but maybe this is the way to get on friendly terms with him. Alright, but just a little bit. Woohoo! Alright. But my superpowers are kind of weird. They don't do much if I use them on my own. See, my special power is called Augment. I use it to boost my allies' physical and psychic abilities during battle. Wow, that sounds really cool. Okay, try using Augment on my power. Oh my god, how long are his nails gonna be now? Augment your power? I'd seen how Yukinami fights. It seems he's preferred physical attacks over psychic ones. He kicks and punches. If I use Augment on him, he could do some serious damage. I'll give it a try, but we have to move someplace that's more, you know, open. We don't want to damage the colony. It should be fine to bust up a few things around here. Most of these buildings are trashed anyway. Well, that's not really the issue here. I wasn't sure how to make him understand, but Yukinami just smiled and shrugged. Oh, okay, if you insist. If you want a wide open space, we should head outside. Whoa! Yukinami grabbed my wrist and pulled me along. He never even looked back. He was like a kid dragging along a playmate. He didn't even ask before he grabbed me. Is he thoughtless or just innocent? I think his head is empty. There is absolutely no thoughts going on in there. I felt exasperated, but it didn't seem I get anywhere if I protested. I just sighed inwardly. I need to transform real quick before we leave the colony, so hang on a sec, okay? Oh, right. What a hassle. Yukinami shook his head before he resumed tugging me along the colony exterior. I'm sus of the sky being such similar colours to me. Like, we reached the suitably empty space outside town. This looks like a good place to let it all out. Come on, let's get to it. Okay, give me your hands. Yukinami looked at me and I gripped his hands. Here we go. Boost. I used my augment ability on Yukinami. His face immediately lit up, as if you could feel the effects coursing through him. Wow! What do you think? What? This is amazing! I can feel power running through me. Yukinami ran around in circles like a kid with a new toy. Then he jumped high, clearly delighted. I felt like smiling as I watched him. He's so excited. I never expected him to get so much out of it. But a moment later, my smile stiffened ever so slightly. Yeah! This is amazing! Oh, he's beating the shit out of stuff. Yukinami smashed down the wall of a nearby building with an ear-shattering bang. I'm glad he's having a good time, but he's getting a little destructive. I guess it doesn't matter. It's not like anyone's around here is going to care anyway. As I watched Yukinami's violent frolicking, I spotted movement out the corner of my eye. Huh? I glanced over and saw a vector watching us from a distance. There are vectors outside the colony too? My body flooded with adrenaline. Don't attack it. The vector never made a move to attack though. I exhaled and let my shoulders relax. Right, all the vectors in tower are docile, and it doesn't seem that it doesn't seem as if the outside vectors are the ones that attack Theta. Nevertheless, I remained a little guarded. Yukinami returned from his Destructothon. Oh, it's a vector! Must have gone loose again. Yukinami's words interested me. Gotten loose? Are you saying Moravia is like in charge of keeping them? This guy's just chilling. Yeah, he's vibing. It's not just Moravia, you know. Sometimes when we take the vectors to attack Theta, she doesn't even come along. Now that you mention it. It would probably be hard for one person to control so many vectors. The vectors seem to listen to Moravia, but that's not the same thing as her being their keeper. But it's not like the vectors seem to have any capacity for intelligent thought. Why would they obey Moravia's orders? I somehow drew the attention of the vector that was watching us. It started to approach. It lumbered slowly at first, then pushed the speed as it made its beeline straight towards me. What? It was totally chill a minute ago. What's wrong with it? Oh, that one's taken an interest in you. Interest? True, I was sympathetic to the vectors now, but I couldn't stay put while one ran me over. I steeled myself. Well, Yukinami's a vector, right? So I don't think he'd like me attacking. Oh, that was a hero. That was a blue. Blue is hero, right? Sync rate. What the fuck? What do all these gauges mean? The vector coming right for me. I ran. If I ran, it would give it chase without a doubt. I guess attacking was my only choice. Oh, but the vector was once a human being. That realization planted a seed of doubt in my mind, which made me hesitate to attack. I have no options left. I'll aim for its feet. Maybe I can scare it or make it stumble. Then I'll make a run for it. My mind was made up. I rapidly began calculating the best possible time to use my psychokinesis. Yukinami, who was watching me, then quickly stepped forward. Guess I got no choice. Something in his eyes changed, and then... his nails! What? Yukinami unflinchingly pummeled the Vector. The attack hit home and the Vector hit the ground. I thought he would like care about Vectors, but I guess I overestimated him. I couldn't believe what I'd just seen. I was shocked into speechlessness. What? No way. I thought you were the Vector's ally. Yeah, same. An ally? What's that? He looked confused. He really had no idea. I wasn't even sure how to answer his question. Explaining allies would be too complicated. Instead, I rephrased my question. Why did you attack the Vector? It was hard to keep my voice steady. If Yukinami knew I was upset, he didn't show it. Why? That's a funny question. It was coming right for us, yeah? Annoying little fella. Annoying? I wasn't able to disguise the tremor in my voice this time. Yukinami, he scares me. I'd just been starting to think warmly of him. I had an inkling we'd get along despite his childish, self-centered tendencies. But he just slaughtered a Vector in cold blood as easily as he blinked or breathed. A cold, soulless monster without a scrap of empathy. That was the Yukinami I saw before me right now. I was right when I thought he didn't act his age, but there's more. He's actually like a child. He knows nothing about friendship and allies. He has no sense of right or wrong. He'll take a life without thinking if something annoys him. A child's innocence can be hurtful or dangerous in some contexts. If Yukinami ever felt like it, would he kill me as thoughtlessly as that Vector? That innocent smile of his threw me off guard. I thought he was as childish. I didn't see the truth. Yukinami had wiped his boyish facade and let me glimpse into a horrible thing underneath.
No.
Cirrus, why are you shaking? Oh, we have a weird CG. I'm kind of weirded out by this whole situation. Yukinami reached out to stroke my cheek. I jerked back, panicked. Yukinami just smiled. I don't think I like this situation. What is it? Are you afraid of me? He hit the nail right on the head. I felt like he was peering right through me. Well, he likes honest answers, right? Like, honest and to the point. He doesn't like beating around the bush. Yeah, we came in. Yeah, I'm afraid. I gave Yukinami a straightforward answer. Scared as I was, I knew he'd want me to be direct. It was too late to put up a front, and I was sure he'd see through it anyway. He might get mad if I tried to fool him. I gave him the right answer, I'm sure of it. Keenly aware of how much danger I was in, I watched Yukinami closely. He looked at me hard, as if analysing my face. Suddenly, he grinned. So that's the face you make when you're scared. I don't like that. It's totally hilarious. His close examination of my face made me shiver. My heart hammered against my ribs. He touched my cheek as if confirming something. His sharp nails prodded my skin. Oh, I don't like this. I felt as if they could dig into me at any moment. I was sweating. I don't like it. You can't keep your eyes off me. I had your full attention. I love it. Hold on. Just need to check something. Okay, we're not gonna like walk straight into a bad end at least. We're not going headfirst into a bad end. He was right. I was too scared to look away. But my fear meant nothing to him. He just liked the fact that I was paying attention to him. It made no difference how he got that attention. I had no idea what to say. He's just a little bit fucked up, huh? What's a little bit of being fucked up between gamers? Yukinami spoke plainly as he held his gaze. I think I kinda like you too. His words were friendly, pleasant even, so why did they send a shiver down my spine? I felt like nothing good would come out of Yukinami taking special interest in me. Let's hang out lots, okay, Cirrus? Creepy. I've got a bad feeling about this. Some guarded corner of my mind told me I'd handled Yukinami's question badly. There was no malice in Yukinami's gaze. Instead, he looked at me like he was sizing up a brand new toy. I knew now that it was too late to go back. It's too late to get off the Yukinami route. I don't know what that report obtained thing is. I keep getting it. I plunked down on the chair beside the bed and watched rely on Liz's sleeping form. Sigh. I sighed softly to avoid waking her up. After everything, I made up an excuse to escape Yukinami and return to the room. I have to be getting back now. Oh, really? Well, see you later. I'm so glad he didn't try and challenge me on it. I don't know what I'd do if he didn't let me go. Maybe he was satisfied enough at the sight of my trembling body. What's so amusing about my fear anyway? He seemed to enjoy it, though not in a vicious way. That makes it all even creepier. I don't want to get in close to him. I don't know what he's capable. Sorry, honey. You're on the Yukinami route. I'm sorry. This is happening now. I don't know what he's capable of, but if I'm gonna be living here, I can't exactly avoid him. I guess for now, I'll just do everything I can to avoid being around Yukinami. Maybe then he'll start to lose interest in me. I'm glad I'm not living in the same building as him. It's a small consolation, but I'm thankful regardless. Miss Liz? I snapped out my brooding. Liz was stirring in the bed, slowly waking from her slumber. I needed that. Morning, Cirrus. As Liz slowly sat up, I gave her a big smile so she wouldn't catch on my dark thoughts. Good morning, Liz. How do you feel? Much better than before, that's for sure. I think all that sleep did me a world of good. Really? I'm so glad. What about you? Are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? I mean, you look pretty pale. Did something happen while I was asleep? Liz wasn't easily fooled. I reflectively put up my hands to my face, trying to hide it. Liz's eyes narrowed as she took in my reaction, convinced she was on something. Her eyes were filled with concern. Well, I guess I'm just tired. I'll be good as new as soon as I get some rest. Liz shook her head. My perky, positive tone of voice didn't fool her. You can stop trying to hide things from me. Liz. I let my shoulders slump, no point in trying to hide anything now. You saw through me, huh? You're always one step ahead. Well, duh. I'm your best friend. Can't pull the wool over my eyes that easily. I'm just messing with you. Liz was joking around, but her expression softened nonetheless. Hey, I'm way calmer now. I'd like you to tell me the truth about this place, about everything that's happened. Right, okay, I'll tell you. Tell her about being a magical girl. Right now. Pushing my worries about Yukinami from my mind, I focused on explaining things to Liz. Here's what happened. You were attacked by a creature known as a vector. I told her everything, start to finish. About how people turn to vectors, about how she might be one, or at least in part, about how she was taken to the research district. I explained to her how I accepted help from Moravia, the leader of the Vectors, to bring Liz here and the ruined Vector colony of Tau. Liz remained quiet while I told her everything. She was clearly shocked, but she remained calm. I see, it's a lot to take in, to say the least. But I appreciate you being honest with me. But after everything I just heard, I'm still curious about one thing. What? I'll answer any question I possibly can. Liz nodded before continuing. The Vectors are monsters that show up after the dark, right? They're the reason for the curfew, correct? You sound like you're privy to a whole bunch of top secret Vector information. How come? Well, I'm a magical girl. I still haven't explained the balloons yet. No wonder Liz was so confused and curious. It's privileged information, but it's not like we can ever go home again, so there's no need to keep it quiet anymore. Liz, you remember those rumors we heard about? The superheroes who fight the monsters, right? Well, truth is, I'm one of them. You? A superhero? You? Rude. Yeah. You can barely go down a flight of stairs without tripping. Aren't you just a normal girl? I like on like the first few lines, she was like, yeah, I'm just like average at sport, and we've gone from like that to like, oh yeah, you just fall over all the fucking time. Clumsy bitch. Is it really that unbelievable for me to have superpowers? I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. I am what I am. Oh yeah? What's with that smirk? You think I'm joking? I expect you to be surprised, but this? Liz waved dismissively and she shrugged at the same time. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty shocked. But I also knew you'd never make up silly jokes in a situation as dire as this. But come on, it's still pretty unexpected. I had to giggle. Well, I admit it's pretty out of left field. It's not as if I wasn't shocked myself. I told Liz that the catalyst for my invitation to the Blooms only happened recently. I knew you were hiding something. I guess that's at the end of that little mystery. The tone of Liz's voice made me hang my head. I knew I'd hurt her by keeping secrets. I'm sorry for not saying anything. But Liz just gave me her usual bright smile. Well, I guess it wasn't info you could freely share. In any case, I'm glad I know the truth now. I was lonely when you were hiding all that from me, but all's well that ends well. She's so chill. That prompted me to bring something that I had been on my mind for a while. Hey, can I ask you something? Why are you in town that day? I thought for sure you were back at the dorm. Liz giggled, looking embarrassed. I guess I was kind of half hoping that you'd change your mind and come along to the cafe after all. Then, my face blanched. That meant it was all my fault. Liz was attacked by that Vector. Never mind keeping the Blooms a secret. If I hadn't worried Liz so much, she wouldn't have been in town that day. Then she wouldn't have... Oh, don't look so glum. I would have stuck around to eat something yummy even if you hadn't shown up that day. You're right. None of this would have happened if I'd gone back to the dorm. I'm sorry for making you worry too. I'm so sorry. I couldn't help but apologise. I felt all messed up inside, but Liz just brushed it off. You got me out of there. You even saved my butt. I'd say we're more than even. Out of there? Liz paused for a moment as she shuffled through her memories. I think I can remember at least part of what happened. Memories keep coming back to me. I was attacked by a Vector. and blacked out. I was unconscious for a while. When I woke up, I was lying on a bed in an all-white room. At first, I thought I was in a hospital, but I quickly noticed something was off. Then I realized my hands and feet were in restraints. Restraints?
意識が朦朧としてたけど、部屋の中には他にも私と同じような状態の人がたくさんいた気がする。
My mind was kind of fuzzy, but I got the impression the room was filled with people in the same condition as me.
そうしたら、
Then someone in a white coat gave me some kind of medicine, and I fell asleep again. That's all I can remember.
それっきり。
The commander told me Liz had been kept in a restricted area of the research district, but I had no idea she'd been treated so horribly. I see. I was completely out of it, but some instinct told me I was being rescued. It sounded like it must have been terrible, Liz. I'm so glad we managed to get you out in time. I touched her shoulder, but Liz shook her head. Nope. You might not have been in time after all. I knew it. You said I've probably been vectorized too, right? I have a feeling going back to being a regular human might not be possible anymore. I wasn't sure what Liz was getting at. I felt lost. What do you mean? When I woke up, I immediately knew something was off about my body. While you were out, I got up and gave myself a once-over. I found out, well, see for yourself. Oh, that's the thing that Yukinami has like all over him when he's attacked. Liz rolled up her shirt, exposing a bruise-like mark on her stomach. It looked like the markings the vectors bore. I felt my blood run cold. Liz, that's... Yeah, kind of weird, right? I'm sure there's something going on with my body. I can't explain why, but I'm sure this mark is a sign I'll never be able to go back to my life in Theta. So, what happens to me now? What if I suddenly become a vector? What if I wind up attacking you? That's not gonna happen. Surprised, we both whirled around. Yukinami was standing in the open door. How long has he been there? I didn't sense him coming. He didn't even make a sound. There was no jump scare this time. If Yukinami noticed how freaked out I was by his sudden arrival, he might get annoyed. I focused on keeping my face neutral. What's not going to happen? Didn't Ryo tell you? She got an antibody shot, so she's not going to wind up like the others. The others? You mean the vectors in the herds? Do you know a group of vectors is called a herd? Yeah, well, not that she's a regular human anymore though. Didn't Moravia tell you? Moravia told me fuck all, mate! Liz's body stiffened up and she turned away when Yukinami said she was no longer human. It must have hurt to hear it say out loud like that. There wasn't much I could do. I put my hand over Liz's, hoping to share whatever strength I could. It doesn't matter, as long as you're still Liz. It's more than good enough for me. Liz lifted her head. She smiled and nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. I'm so glad you didn't wind up as a vector. Yukinami narrowed his eyes when he heard my thoughts spoken aloud. Huh? So you just brutally murdered a vector in front of mine own eyes. Huh? So you hate vectors, but you're fine with accepting help from them? Oh, yikes. I shouldn't have worded it like that. That's not what I meant. I'm just glad Liz was able to keep her wits about her instead of mindlessly attacking human beings. Yukinami raised an eyebrow at this, but then turned away as if he suddenly lost interest. Well, whatever you think doesn't really matter to me anyway. Oh. Oh, before I forget, I'm gonna be living here for a while too. Of course you fucking are. What? That was unexpected. I yelped a bit in surprise. Why?
なんか面白そうだから。
I don't know. It seems like fun. There are so many rooms here anyway. What's the matter?
だいたいここはもともと僕たちの住処なんだから。
Don't forget, this is our home. Has been for ages. You got a problem? Forced to see Yukinami. That is the Yukinami route. No. Even if I did, I wouldn't say much out loud. This is bad. I was hoping to avoid Yukinami. I was just thinking about how lucky I was that he didn't have to live in the same building as me. Well, I guess we're roomies from now on. Yukinami waved cheerfully as he left the room. I watched him go, dismayed. Now I'm going to have to be on guard constantly. I won't be able to relax. I trembled as I replayed the moment he killed the Vector over and over again in my mind. Liz peered at my face, clearly concerned. Just taking a shot in the dark here. But is that guy the reason you were looking so pale? Yeah, earlier we spent some time outside of Tao. I'm scared of the way he acts. Yukinami's twisted innocence ironically made him the most dangerous Vector of all. I can't go back to Theta, but I don't think I can stay here much longer either. Liz, can I talk to you about something? What's up? As soon as you're well enough to leave, let's take off together. Oh, Yukinami's not gonna like that. Liz gazed back at me, astonished. She thought for a few moments, then nodded slightly. I'll do my best to get mobile as soon as possible. I'll do whatever I can on my end too. Let's both work hard to get out of here, okay? Alone and together in the silent room, we nodded. Once I left Liz, I did a personal tour of the area. I definitely plan to leave, but for now I have to stay put. I should familiarise myself with things around here. I found the sink area, I washed the tray, but that's all I know so far. I don't know my way around this building at all. I consistently looked over my shoulder for Yukinami as I surveyed the building. What else is here? There are lots of rooms, most of them were unused. It was no wonder Yukinami thought moving into one of them. Ro had suggested earlier the building was well stocked with food and amenities. I found tons of supplies in the storeroom of sorts. I found what looked like a pantry too. A note on the door says, don't leave the door open. Yukinami's definitely the type to leave doors open. I wonder who wrote that note though. They sound like they have a thing for tidiness. I also found what appeared to be a kitchen. Good, if I need to, I can prepare food for Liz and myself here. I felt a little better. With some careful planning, things might go smoothly after all. Alright, I've scouted most of the building. All that's left is... I should check around outside too. But before I go outside as planned... A pair of hands suddenly slipped over my eyes. I almost screamed hard enough to shatter glass. Guess who? It's Yukinami. Fear froze my body stiff. Well, he likes direct answers. Yukinami. Yukinami, right? I answered promptly as I tried to keep my voice from shaking. Ding ding! Haha! Did I scare you? Did I? Haha! Yeah, I almost jumped out of my skin. Yukinami loves to jump scare. He sure does. This is the scariest route in the game. I wasn't lying. Yukinami had possibly taken years off my life. I never even sensed you were close to me until you covered my eyes. Pretty amazing, aren't I? Aren't I? Yukinami's eyes sparkled. I gave him my honest answer. Yep, you sure are something else, Yukinami. Bounce, bounce. Woo! I'm something else. I'm something else. Yeah, you sure are something else. I sighed internally as Yukinami leaped for joy. That boyish smile of his makes it easy to forget how dangerous he actually is. When Yukinami was exuberant about something, he looked like a normal, happy boy. But you never know what's going to set him off. How am I supposed to handle him going forward? I think I'm acting normal, but I'll do something that puts him in a bad mood. Yukinami was staring at me, still wearing his innocent grin. So, where are you off to? My heart thudded in my chest. Did you ever hear me talking to Liz a moment ago? Did you catch our plans for escape? Where, yeah, before I snuck up on you, you were talking to yourself about checking around outside. Oh, all right. Oh, whew. He only heard me talking to myself. If you're going out, I'll come too. Ah, okay, but by outside I meant within town, just so we're clear. Doesn't matter, it's just fun being with you. Nice. What fun for him is psychological torture for me. I knew how cruel Yukinami was capable of being, like when he attacked us during the Vector's raid on Theta. And when he killed that Vector outside of Tau, he didn't even bat an eye. He's terrifying. So terrifying, I knew the smart thing to do was go. Ugh, why was that cut off so weirdly? Go along with what he wanted. If I refused his company, he'd probably get mad. No, not probably. He'd be angry for sure. I have no choice. Anyway, this is a better option than leaving him alone in the building with Liz. Okay, let's go then. Alright, off we go. Yukinami was in high spirits, but my grin was fake. We must have looked like a funny pair. I am just going to go on a quick break to get a drink because all this talking makes me thirsty. So I will be back in a few minutes while I go get a little drink, and I'll see you in a minute. Hello, I'm back. I have had sippy. Okay, so back to Yukinami, I guess. Once we left the building, Yukinami's good mood only continued. The hood of his jacket bobbed as he walked. Apparently he grabbed it from his room just in case he felt like going outside. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Welcome back, thank you! Theta's wall is falling down. Yeah, okay. He seems upbeat, like he's forgotten he scared me half to death the other day. Or maybe he doesn't care. In fact, I think he gets kicks from scaring me, and he has no intention of stopping to think about how his antics might affect me. Inside, inside, I was just one big long sigh. Hey, where you want to go now? If you want to know anything, I can totally fill you in. For now, I'm just going looking around town. Would you like to give me a tour? If Yukinami was going to scare the pants off me, I may as well use my time productively. Yukinami grinned and nodded. It's your thing. Follow me. I guess, you know what? I guess since we're like on the Yukinami route, we should probably change our picture. Why can I never find PNGs when I want them? PNGs are fake, actually. I just want a nice little picture of Yukinami to stick in here without having to Photoshop it myself. Please. Right, okay, we're just gonna have to go with this. I don't know why he's got the little speech bubble on him, but that's fine. You can go down here. There you go. Maria will come back for you soon. I'm assuming because she's like the boss, like maybe her route is like locked. Yukinami give me the grand tour of Tao, pointing out his favorite spots along the way. Look, see that building? The view from that rooftop is amazing. I love hanging out up there. Oh yeah? I get why the view would be great. Look, over there. See that Rex building? That was me. I wrecked that building. I looked in the direction Yukinami was pointing and saw a big mound of rubble. It was clearly a building once upon a time. Even the tallest buildings will crumble into piles of rocks as time goes on, huh? My voice was a little melancholy, but Yukinami shook his head insistently. No, time didn't smash it up. I did! I knew it. I knew it. That's so? Why? I had to try out some cool moves. I was sparring against Hyuga. Wow, poor Hyuga. It's okay, Hyuga has guns. I could envision Hyuga struggling not to get overwhelmed, even though I barely knew them. But then I unleashed a really big attack. It blew both Hyuga and the building away. Kaboom! I see the whole thing lifted off its foundation and went tumbling down. No biggie, it was already falling over. Oh my god. Wow, what an amazing twist to your tale. Amazing, yay! I didn't necessarily mean amazing in a good way, but Yukinami didn't seem to pick up on that. He continued to show me around Tao. I found myself watching the vectors a lot. They were just hanging out peacefully, standing next to their companions. It felt strange as I watched them. They sound like pigs. The vectors here are really calm, almost tame. I fought so many of them when I was with the balloons, but this feels like a lifetime ago. It was a peaceful scene, but when I thought about how the vectors used to be humans, it made my heart ache. Then, one of the vectors turned to me and began lumbering in my direction. Huh? That vector's got its eyes on me. But it wasn't acting aggressively, unlike the one that charged at me outside. I quietly watched the vector approach. Yukinami noticed the vector too. He stood in front of me as if to ward me off from its line of sight. He was clearly trying to protect me from the vector. I was surprised. Why though? Is he worried there'll be another incident like when the vector outside charged at me? I hadn't thought Yukinami would care so much about my well-being, but his actions said otherwise. Let's go. Yeah. Yukinami led me away from the vector. It looked sad as it watched us go, but it didn't try to follow. I have some thoughts. I do have some thoughts. I'm just like, if people turn to vectors, right? What if it's like our parents or something? Because they like disappeared when we were a kid, right? So they could be vectors out there. It's kind of weird how it's like, oh, it's sad. Sus. We continued our tour of Tao. Every so often, a vector would take interest in me. Oh, I don't know. Ugh. Each time Yukinami stepped in protectively. He's definitely determined to protect me. Is he kinder than I gave him credit for? No, I think he's still a little freak, actually. I began to realise I had no real idea of what kind of person, or vector, Yukinami really was. He killed a vector in cold blood, but he still seemed to get a big kick out of scaring me. But he also tried to protect me. He's kind but horrible? Doesn't make sense at all. That's called gremlin. He's being gremlin. I spotted a tidy looking house during the tour. They were well maintained and people were clearly living there. They're way different from the building we're living in now. I swear someone was tending to those little houses. Something caught your eye? Yeah, what's with that little house over there? Is someone living in it? Oh, there? Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. I surmise it wasn't a vector living in that house, but Yukinami was being very vague. Do you mean a human lives there? Yukinami shrugged, uninterested. Yeah, I guess so. You're so helpful. There are other humans living here? Thinking back to what Yukinami said. The other day I asked him if other people were living in Tower vectors, and he said mostly. I thought he was referring to me and Liz at the time, but there was seemingly more going on. Oh, well, I just skipped a line. Kind sus human though, like you. Thanks. Like me? Yukinami's words contained no malice, but I responded through tight lips. Despite the circumstances, I must seem a bit sus for abandoning they actually put sus in the translation of this game. I can't believe the official translation has sus in it. I must seem a bit sus for abandoning theatre and escaping here. Is that what he's getting at? I wonder what the person living in the house is like. What drove them to set down roots in a place like this? It's Uncle name I forgot. It's the uncle. It's definitely the uncle. My thoughts churned as I stared into the house. A frown spread over Yukinami's face. Basically, he just gets like pissed if we ignore him. It's what? Like, oh, like he's not the center of attention. That's what I'm getting. Hey, you stop looking at me, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, have I? Yeah, and when you stop looking at me, it's not fun anymore, you know? Reading Yukinami's moods was exhausting, but I let my guard slip for a moment. Yikes, what am I supposed to say? Sorry I spoiled your fun? Hey, Cirrus. As I struggled to come up with an answer, Yukinami gently called my name. He reached out his hand and stroked my neck softly, and then... What? Yet another impeccable jump scare from Yukinami. Yukinami's fingers gripped my throat. Let go of me. He's like, oh, I've not scared them today. Let's fucking go. His grip wasn't hard enough to strangle me, but I wasn't able to breathe properly either. He was on the cusp of shutting off my windpipe. Man, this is like the definition of strangling. What do you mean? I struggled to free myself, but Yukinami held on. Hello? Yeah, I know. Yukinami, sir, can I fucking help you? This man is unhinged. Yeah, I agree. This man's definitely just a little freak. Yukinami? Haha, there we go. Now I have your attention. He hurt me just for a laugh. His innocent smile was nothing but twisted. That look on your face, that's the same one you had before. I like it. I want to see it more and more. I don't think I like this man. I don't know what they're gonna do to like redeem him, but he's a pretty shit guy. I came here for Moravia. This is what I got. I need a t-shirt. Someone needs to make me a t-shirt. Like, I came here for Moravia and I what was it? I went here to see Moravia and all I came back was this shitty unhinged man. What happens when I do this though? Sir? His grip around my neck tightened and he started lifting me off the grass. Sir? I clawed at Yukinami's fingers, but he responded by stealing his hold. At this rate, I was seconds from passing out when... An angel! An angel has come! An angel has come to save us! Moravia! Moravia, I missed you! Hey, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, Moravia? Moravia? I told you, don't harm the girl. Unhand her at once. Okay, sure. Yukinami immediately let go of me. It was like Moravia hit a switch on him. Ah! Finally, free, I sank on the floor. I gasped for air. That was beyond dangerous. Moravia looked unconcerned as I caught my breath. In fact, she was smiling. We love Moravia. In this house, we stand Moravia. Well, what did you learn? Not to hang out with Yukinami, that's what I learned. Learn? It's like I told you, you know nothing. You're still completely in the dark. You won't be able to save anyone at this rate. So I have more thoughts. I think, like, obviously in Theta, we're like the hero trying to save them all from like vectors and stuff. Like, I'm thinking, like, obviously the same things happened here. What if like Moravia was in like our position in this city? Like she was like meant to be the hero saving people, but she failed? Maybe? Alright, back when we met in Theta. I was still shaky, but I could at least breathe again. I was able to recall the conversation Moravia was referring to. It seems you remember. Moravia might be right in some regards. I couldn't save Liz, but is she implying I need to know more? You need to learn about us. Stay close to Yukinami and get to know him. I don't wanna. I don't want to. Oh my god, there's still so much Yukinami left. Ugh, it's so high. You need to learn more about us. Stay close to Yukinami and get to know him. Yukinami, keep a close eye on her, alright? Don't play rough and keep her in one piece. Yukinami shrugged off her light scolding without so much as a frown. Sure thing. I'll keep an eye on her. He threw his arm around my shoulder and hugged me. I saw the hand that strangled me to death. I had to stay still. I couldn't show fear. He's like an animal. At this point, I was just trying to survive. I want to stay far away from Yukinami, yeah. I want to stay with Moravia. Is that an option? I'm assuming because Moravia is like the boss, like her route is like locked at the moment. Or like we can't get to that part of the story yet because we've not seen enough. Moravia, put you in my hands. I feel like Yukinami's chew toy or his pet. We can talk, but what I say just doesn't register. It's like Yukinami and Moravia and I are thinking on different wavelengths. I couldn't chalk up to them being vectors either. It just seemed to be the way they were. I recall the agony of Yukinami's hand around my throat and realised I was in way over my head. The next morning, despite yesterday's events, I woke up refreshed. Yawn. That was a really great sleep. I groggily went over yesterday's events as I slowly woke up. Yukinami seemed excited about the prospect of keeping an eye on me. When Moravia asked him to take charge of me, it made his day. Maybe he enjoys taking care of us. Nah, he reacted more like a kid who's excited about taking care of a new hamster. He was very despondent over being treated like Yukinami's new play. I was very despondent about being treated like Yukinami's new plaything. Well, stressing out won't help anything. I guess I'll go check on Liz for now. I peeked into the room next door. She was still asleep. She's got more colour in her cheeks compared to yesterday, but it looks like she's a long way from being completely recovered. I need to get Liz back on her feet. If there's any hope of us getting out of here, she needs to eat to get her strength back. Yukinami always brings us meals from somewhere, doesn't he? I didn't want to rely on Yukinami if I could help it. I preferred to cook something from the food stores. But excluding Yukinami might make him mad. He seems to take a lot of pride and joy in his job as a provider. I hate to go to him, but I guess I need to ask about food. I left Liz's room and searched for Yukinami. He said he'd be living in the same building, but which room is he in? Maybe he's not home right now. I wasn't sure where to go, so I headed for the exit with the intention of checking outside. Ta-da! Food! Yukinami slowly leaped through the doors of the building, scaring me half to death. Yikes, there goes another 10 years off my life. His timing is so good, it's awful. I struggled to compose myself, but put on a smile before taking the tray Yukinami offered me. I thanked him. Thanks. Hehe, don't mention it. He seemed to be in a good mood, so I decided to ask him about the food after all. Hey, this food is great. Who prepares the meals around here? Hyuga does. What, really? I just had like the picture in my mind, like, so Hyuga has like the guns. It's just fucking assassination classroom. It's like, we have a fresh roll of noodles and gun. I just can't not think of that meme. It's Hyuga cooking and gun. What, really?
ヒューが料理が得意なんだ
Yeah,
よ
Hugo's good at cooking. Are you shocked? And a gun! Actually, yes. I knew Hugo as a fearsome fighter. I couldn't picture him doing cozy domestic things like cooking hearty meals. People really are more than what they seem, though come to think of it, I've only seen this side of Hugo that fights. He seems to hate me, or maybe he hates humans, period. Still, he cooks great meals for me and Liz. He's surprisingly caring. Stare. Yukinami stared at me intently while I mulled over my thoughts. What? I like that face too. It's a good one. A realization flashed through my mind. He likes to provoke me to see my reactions. Yukinami doesn't seem to want to hurt me, nor does he want to see me as an enemy. I wagered he liked me, but that thought didn't bring me any comfort. I was probably on the right track in thinking he saw me as a toy. Toys don't show pain, and they don't care how roughly they are treated. Hey, after you're done eating, let's go have fun. Oh, right, okay, once I'm done eating then. I hesitated at Yukinami's invite, but I didn't want to make him angry again. In any case, my response satisfied him. Yay! I can't wait! I brought Liz's meal to her room so she could eat it as soon as she woke up. Yukinami parked himself in there too. He clearly had no plans to leave. I didn't relish the thought of him following me to my room, so I sat down as well. I picked up my fork and started eating. Yukinami watched me the whole time. Aren't you going to eat, Yukinami? I ate already. I'll just wait till you're done. What did you eat, Yukinami? This is an important question. He's really planning to wait then? I couldn't enjoy the meal with Yukinami watching over me like a hawk, so I scarfed it down. When I was done, Yukinami leaped from his chair. You're done, right? Then let's go! Yeah, sure. My heart was heavy as I followed Yukinami. He skipped ahead, clearly in a great mood. Hey, so where are we going? Outside again. The outside world? What for? To do something fun, obviously. Yukinami's idea of something fun. Couldn't say anything out loud, but the prospect was chilling. Yukinami's perception of fun and interesting varied wildly from my own. But despite my massive reservations, I had no choice but to go along. Where are we going? You'll see soon enough. Yukinami seemed to have a destination in mind, but he wasn't about to tell me. As a result, we walked for a long time without me having any idea of where we were going. Yukinami barely said a word, he just hummed happily to himself. Talking to Yukinami makes me nervous, but walking with him in near silence makes me even more nervous somehow. The longer the silence endured, the more I was certain Yukinami was going to do something to me. Yukinami? I finally spoke up, unable to bear the silence any longer. You've been living in Tao for a long time, right? But where did you live before that? The same place as you, of course. Yukinami's face lit up at my question. He was just happy to talk about himself. The same place as me? You mean Theta? Yep, that's the one. His reply made something click in my mind. A new possibility occurred to me. Is it possible he wasn't a Vector when he lived in the... Wow. What made you think that? It was near impossible to imagine Yukinami living as a normal human being in the colony. But what if he was a different person then? Thinking about it, Yukinami and the other sentient Vector seemed a lot like Liz. So that means they were also attacked by vectors, and then they got the antibody shot that prevented them from transforming fully. It's totally feasible, but it's all just a conjecture on my part until Yukinami tells me himself. Yukinami peered at my face as I gave him his potential history a deep thought. I like that look on your face too, but I prefer the expression you showed me earlier. I immediately flashed back to him choking me, my hand flew to my neck. What are you planning to do? Haha, did I scare you? Don't worry, I wasn't about to choke you again. Moravia told me not to after all. Thank you, Moravia. Thank you for my life, queen. Now that we're out in the wide open world, let's have some real fun. Yukinami grabbed my hand and started running. Why is the PNG cliffing like that? Like, why is the bottom half flipping into the top? Come on, faster! Wait up! I wasn't running as much as I was being dragged. Faster, come on! Too fast, just hold on a sec. Yukinami seemed deaf to my pleas. He just picked up speed and kept going. Soon we were flying at an incredible pace. I get the feeling Yukinami would just drag me along the ground if I stumbled and fell. I'd better make sure I don't lose my footing. I transformed, of course, so even at this speed I was more or less able to keep up. But I had no breath left for speaking. All I could do was run alongside him towards the fun he had planned for me. Run. After running for a while, the landscape began to look somewhat familiar. This area, I remember seeing it along the way when we brought Liz and Theta to Tau. Is Yukinami headed towards Theta again? Aha! Stop! Yukinami applied the brakes when he saw something. I screeched to a halt as well. What? What's up? Look! Over there! I looked in the direction he was pointing and spied people up ahead in protective suits. Are they surveying the land? Maybe they're researchers in Theta. The only people who had any reason to leave Theta were people doing research and things of that nature. But they could only spend a limited amount of time outside the colony, even with their suits, which meant Theta had to be nearby. Wow, you're really staring at them. Do they interest you or something? No, that's not it. I tried to give a nonchalant answer. Yukinami got annoyed quickly when he wasn't the centre of attention. Well, whatever. Watch this. I'm gonna mess them up. I don't think you should do that. That's just my opinion, but I don't think you should do that. You're going to... What? It took just a few seconds of the meaning of what Yukinami just said sink in. Wait! Yukinami seemed prepared to run towards the people, but actually stopped when I yelped. Why? Why do you want to attack them? Huh? Hello, Captain Obvious. Because it's fun. I promise we do something fun, right? Messing with them is your idea of fun? I couldn't follow his line of thinking at all. It's true, Yukinami had attacked countless people by now, but I couldn't understand why he dragged me all the way out here to make me watch him do it. Stop! Don't do it! But I always attack people. It's what I do. Why are you stopping me from doing it now? It's not a matter of now versus then though. Attacking people was always wrong. And you're just over here announcing that you're doing it again. Of course I'll stop you. I was desperate for Yukinami to understand me, but he just stared at me blankly. Then the corner of his mouth twitched. Nice. I like that face too. What?
僕が人間を襲うって言った
If
だ
you
けで
make
そ
that
んな顔を
face
するなら実際に人間を襲ったらどんないい表情を見せてく
If
れ
you
る
made
んだ
that
ろう
face from just hearing me say I'm going to attack humans, what will you look like if I actually do it?
君のいろんな顔が見たくて連れて
I
きた
brought
け
you
ど
out here because I want to see all of your expressions. This is more than I dreamed of. Yukinami was enraptured. Enraptured? Yukinami was enraptured. I simply stared, unable to process what he was saying. What are you? Yukinami's words did not compute. What was he even saying? He was no better than one of the mindless vectors that attacked Theta. No, he's far worse than them. He's calculated. He makes plans to attack humans just to get a sick thrill out of my reaction. Something deeper, stronger than mere fear build up within me. I'll bet you make a great face, like you did when I killed that vector. I had to react to that. Hehehehe. No, he likes it! No! Slap. Before I knew it, I reached out and slapped Yukinami's face. Take that, idiot.
Huh?
What? Stop talking nonsense. You want to kill humans just to see what expressions I make? Hurting people for your own amusement, that's utterly sick. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna attack or kill. Yukinami seemed completely taken aback. He just stared at me. Is he gonna cry? Is he gonna fucking cry? Cry, little baby, cry. Why'd you hit me? Apparently my words didn't register with Yukinami. He was just focused on the fact that I'd slapped him in the face. He still doesn't get why I'm upset. The slap didn't seem to do what I intended. Let's slap him again. Again! Why do you keep trying to do such horrible things? You say you plan to attack humans just to see what kind of face I'd make. You can't hurt people for the sake of fun. Man! But you just attacked me. You did exactly what I planned to do. Sir? I hit you to stop you from doing something terrible. You tried to hurt humans for no good reason, right? That's very different from the reason why I just slapped you. Good and bad means different things to different people. What makes you so sure that you're right? I don't think it's up to you to decide whether I'm right or wrong. That's what I think anyway. Well, Yukinami was wrong, but I could feel the danger radiating from his words, so I didn't argue back. I really blew that argument, but I still couldn't let him hurt these people. Yukinami grinned as I stood there worrying. Change my mind. No human hunting today. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Mess with me again. See what happens. What? Seriously? For a shining second, I thought I got through to him, but I was dead wrong. Attacking some boring old humans is lame. Playing with you sounds a ton more fun. You gonna fuck with me? You gonna mess with me? Are you? Bring it on. I'll kill you. I'll get you. I'll get you. Playing? Yep, like this. Whoa! Yukinami suddenly launched an attack on me when I dodged by the skin of my teeth. It didn't get through to him at all! Wow, nice dodge. I didn't put much effort into that one though. What are you doing? That was dangerous. Haha, are you mad? That's a great face too. He wasn't actually listening to a word I was saying. Yukinami isn't someone you can reason with. What do I do? You fuck with me? You wanna fuck with me? I'll get you. I hesitated for only a moment. I'm out of options, I have to attack him. I launched an attack using my psychokinesis. Whoa, now you're serious. Alright, take this. I dodged that one too, but with that attack, he really meant to hit me with it. Stopping Yukinami would be difficult, but all I really had to do was distract him long enough to let his people escape. I hate to admit it, but based on raw power alone, I can't win against Yukinami. I'm going to have to hit him with everything I've got. Even if that means giving him what he wants. Hehe, wonderful. That face. Show me more of your faces. He's so unhinged. He battered me with attacks, but I was able to keep dodging them. Ahaha! Dodge, dodge. Yukinami's enjoying toying with me. If he was serious, I'd be dead beat by now. I wasn't getting anywhere by simply dodging, though I loved an attack at him. Shoot, he's fast. I can't hit him. Ha! Slowpoke. Try again. Can't let this become a war of attrition. I need to get back to Tao before I collapse. If I can make it back to Tao, I can get Moravia to stop Yukinami for me. Moravia did tell Yukinami not to hurt me, though I wasn't sure why. Yukinami seems to have forgotten what Moravia said, but if he saw her, he wouldn't be able to disobey. My legs were shaking, but I turned and started running away from the researchers. Whoa! I've never seen that face before. Such determination! Yukinami apparently thought we were playing chase. He ran beside me as he playfully poked me in the shoulder instead of trying to stop me. He doesn't really want to attack me. I guess that's the only saving grace in this mess. I dodged Yukinami's poking and prodding as I focus on running as fast as possible. Moravia, help! Moravia, bitch! Finally, somehow, I reached Tao. I just run in a rather gruesome marathon, but I couldn't relax. You're slowing down. I'm gonna get you. Where's Moravia? Even Hugo would do at this point. But despite my hopes, we didn't come across anyone. Suddenly, I spotted one of the nicer looking buildings we passed by in Yukinami's recent tour. I'll take shelter in there for now. No. Come on. Keep playing with me. Yukinami seemed to read my mind. He grabbed my arm and tried to stop me. I can't take it anymore. If I don't get away from Yukinami, he's gonna run me to death. Let go! Ah! I slapped his hand away as hard as I could. My desperation gave me strength, and Yukinami seemed surprised by how forceful I was. As soon as Yukinami's hand was off me, I reached for the building's doorknob and slid inside. Who's gonna be in there? I finally escaped into the building. I slid to the ground, my back against the door. Yukinami was still either side of said door. It was still too early to relax, but I was spent. I had exceeded the limits of my energy. I paused to catch my breath, then transformed back into my school uniform. Sigh. When I finally caught my breath, I was able to get a good look around my shelter. I just ran in here to get away from Yukinami, but it looks like this is someone's house. Forgetting about Yukinami for a minute, I stared around me in wonder. This is so the uncle. Hello, who's there? I jumped, surprised by the voice. There was a man at the back of the room. He must have been the owner of the house. He seemed like a totally normal human, not part Vector like Yukinami or Hyuga. That's right, Yukinami did mention that there was another human here besides me and Liz. He must have been referring to this man. I was so relieved to see another human that I felt tension drain from me. I scrambled to my feet and bowed. I'm sorry to intrude. I promise I'm not some weirdo. I mean, not to say I'm exactly normal, but Anyway, my name is Cirrus Takanashi. Oh, hello, sir. I thought from the silhouette he has some like weird bob, but ponytail man. I still think this is the uncle. With my hasty introduction complete, I lifted my head and looked at the man for the first time. For some reason, the man's eyes grew wide when he saw my face. Is something wrong? Is there something on my face? Maybe he was just surprised to see another normal-looking person in a place like Tao. Anime mum hairstyle, yeah, you're right. He's got the death flag. He's got the death flag right now. While I was thinking about what to do next, the man closed his eyes, cleared his throat, and gave himself a little shake. You seemed quite flustered a moment ago. That's when I remembered the reason why I barged into his house in the first place. You see, I was being chased. I spotted your house, so I ran inside to escape. Oh my, that sounds quite frightening. And the person who's chasing you, are they still outside? Yes, Yukinami is still out there, but please don't let him in. The man nodded, clearly seeing I was panicked. Oh, thank you. Another voice suddenly spoke from behind the man. Well, if it isn't Cirrus. Who? Another man, a younger one, came into view. He turned and gave me a warm smile. Huh? I've seen this guy somewhere before, but where? I shuffled through my memories until I recalled that I originally met him in theatre. Ibuki, right? That's right. Hello. Hello. I was surprised how calm and pleasant he was being despite the circumstances of our meeting. I heard you say Yukinami's outside. Did he do something to you? Well, I hesitated. I wasn't sure if I should be spilling all the details to Ibuki. And thinking about it some more, why is someone from theatre here in Tao anyway? Could he be a Vector too? I don't know Ibuki's relationship with Yukinami and the others. Would telling him the truth backfire later? Ibuki watched me hem and haw, then sighed as if he knew what I was thinking. Well, don't worry about it. It doesn't take much to imagine what happened. Yukinami can be a real troublesome kid. Understatement of the century. If I had to guess, he was terrorizing you. Please let me apologize on his behalf. Huh, what? I wanted to know why Ibuki was the one doing the apologizing for Yukinami. I'll give him a scolding. You can stay here for a while if you'd like. Ibuki opened the door and left before I could respond. I watched him go, completely dumbstruck. Is Ibuki gonna be alright by himself? You needn't worry about him. He'll be fine. The man spoke with confidence. They were acquaintances, after all, so I figured he'd know. The man offered me a chair. I was so tired, I plopped down on it without a second thought. Whew. The man brought over 2 mugs. He put one down in front of me. Some hot tea. It should relax you a bit. Thank you very much. I accepted the tea gladly and took a sip. It instantly made me feel warm and calm. The mysterious man sat across from me and coughed. It's not often I get visitors here. What brings you all the way to Tao? A lot of stuff happened to me and I wound up coming here with my friend. I wasn't sure how much I should tell him, so I tried to keep my story vague. The man seemed to notice I wasn't telling the whole story, but he didn't press me. But why do you live here? You're human, right? I am indeed human. I've been living here for a very, very long time. I'm from theatre. You are too, right? The man nodded. May I ask your name? My name... I discarded that when I came here. I was once a researcher, now I'm a deserter. But it's hard going around with no name at all, so everyone just calls me Professor. Professor, then, why did you run away?
逃げてきた理由など忘れてしま
Oh,
ったよ。
it's been so long I forget the exact
君の方こ
reason.
そなぜ雪波から逃
What
げてきた
about
の
you?
か。
You were fleeing from Yukinami, were you not? I was trying to save lives. The of Yukinami is saving lives. We got off topic from the man's identity, but I was happy just to talk to someone. Besides, I was hoping he'd have some good advice. I chose my words carefully before speaking again. Yukinami gets a kick out of seeing my different facial expressions, so he plans to attack some humans and see how I react. Yukinami's been attacking people for a long time, I do know that much. But learning he brought me all the way out there just to watch me do it, it made me really angry. Yukinami didn't understand why I was mad, so he didn't really react. I just thought he just started attacking me for the fun of it. And so you had no choice but to run. I nodded, and all my feelings came spilling out. I'm afraid of Yukinami. He has this childlike innocence, but is also thoughtlessly cruel. I don't know right from wrong. He doesn't know right from wrong. It's almost like he was raised without learning about the vital emotions or social cues. I see. Your impression of Yukinami isn't far off the mark, actually. I lifted my head to look at the professor. He continued. You're right, as a child, he never learned those things. He came here before he had the chance. I looked at him curiously. It almost sounded like the professor knew all about Yukinami. Does that mean you knew about how Yukinami grew up? You already know he's not simply a vector, right? Yes, he is. I thought about everything I knew and what I'd seen of Yukinami so far. He's selfish, he pitches a fit if he's not the centre of attention, but he also tried to protect me from those vectors. He does have a kind side. Don't you, like, let him off. He's a bad man, a bad man. He has his good points and his bad points. In a way, you could argue that Yukinami is very human. So just like the other vectors, that must mean Yukinami was originally something really close to human, I think. There was so much I still didn't understand, but I couldn't put my finger on exactly what I was missing. The professor nodded sagely, seeing I was at least familiar with the true nature of the vectors. You might have guessed already, but Yukinami is what we call a former human. I knew it, not a surprise, based on the things Yukinami said. They were once real humans, but as all vectors are, but there are a select few who are different, special, you could say. And there was one more special being aside from Yukinami. So you mean Moravia? Yes, Yukinami was born in my research lab back in Theta. Huh? I gaped, shocked. So before he came here, he was a member of Theta's research lab. Moravia was born in the same lab, though she was born a little earlier than Yukinami. They were the result of a particular experiment, and they were born with innate superpowers. The researchers studied their development closely. But Moravia's powers grew stronger and stronger as the research continued. Thus, the researchers' focus was shifted from Yukinami to Moravia. Lab babies. I get a feeling we are also a lab baby. That's just my opinion. So Yukinami was abandoned. The professor said nothing, he just looked away. I was one of those researchers, so I have no room to judge, but they were selfish people. It was all about finding a means to an end to them. To them, Yukinami and Moravia were just specimens. When one proved better, the other was discarded. I silently clenched my fists. I thought about how Yukinami must have felt when that happened, and my heart began to ache. Don't feel sorry for him.
自分が注目されなくなってただただ悲しかったのだろうな。
Yukinami was still young. Of course he was dismayed when he stopped getting attention. He tried various things to get what he wanted. He's just attention starved. That's it. This led to tantrums, acting out, and using his powers in dangerous ways. Any reaction was good reaction. Yukinami is still a freak. Yeah, Yukinami, like you can't excuse him for being a freak. He's still a fucking unhinged freak. So Yukinami learned quickly how to get a reaction when he wanted it. Then, one day, he escaped the lab with Moravia. Eventually, they wound up here. But Yukinami never lost his desire for attention that began in his childhood, hence why he is the way he is. The professor closed his mouth, apparently finished. I was almost too sad to speak. With a childhood like that, it's no wonder Yukinami wound up the way he is. In other words, Yukinami was a victim too. His behaviour caused me a lot of trouble, but it wasn't his fault he ended up like the way he did. I know this much, Yukinami is a human. I don't know why he insists he's a vector. A human with superpowers sounds a bit like me. Perhaps, yes. That's such a non-answer, thank you. I hadn't realised I'd spoken out loud until the professor nodded in agreement. I was so distracted by my thoughts, I didn't even notice the look on the professor's face. My latent powers woke up so suddenly. I wonder what it was like to actually be born with powers like these. What if I'd been made a test subject because of my powers? Would I still be the same person I am today? Then the professor spoke again. When I heard what happened to you, it made me think that Yukinami wanted your attention. So basically, he just wants attention? Yes, but to be more specific, I think it's your attention he wants. He seems to like you quite a lot. Me? But why? I couldn't imagine, but thinking back on the things Yukinami had done, I started to feel like the professor was onto something. Whenever I spoke to Yukinami or asked him to talk about himself, he lit right up. He'd been downright giddy when I said I'd spend some time with him. And he only planned to attack those researchers so he could get a reaction out of me. As to his reasoning, best to ask the man himself about that. The professor grinned as he'd already summarised the answer. You find Yukinami frightening, and yet you try to understand how he thinks. I think Yukinami notices that, and he's decided you're a kind person who's easy to talk to. Well, that's all I had to say on the subject of Yukinami. What are your plans now? Based on what you told me, I feel like I had to find a way to help Yukinami. I can't just let him go on like this. I just want to refer to the flowchart. Okay, so we missed the bad ending, I guess. If I leave, Yukinami will only latch onto someone else and try and get their attention instead, and he might wind up hurting them. In the end, nobody would be better off for it. What is this one? I want to have a real conversation with Yukinami. I spoke my thoughts out loud. What do you plan to speak with him about? I still don't know, but I need to confront him and talk things out. I just feel like it needs to be done. I think Yukinami is just starved for proper attention. He needs someone to see him and open up and communicate with him. I understand your thinking. In that case, I think it's a good idea for you to see him. I'm sure you'll have success connecting with him. I'll try. The professor's encouragement was a big help. I have to be more positive and forward-thinking to have to take action. I need to strike while the iron is hot. As the old timers used to say, I've got to my feet. The professor smiled. If you need help, come see me anytime. It's so the uncle. Thank you, I'll give it my all. Then I left the professor's house, feeling a whole lot better after I entered it. After leaving and walking for a while, I realised something. When I let it slip that I have superpowers, the professor didn't seem the least bit surprised. Still, given how much he seemed to know about Yukinami, maybe it isn't surprising he knew something about me too. And maybe there was some reason he couldn't talk freely about how he knew me. Right now I have to worry about finding Yukinami. Now, which way did he go? I think I'm going to leave it here for today. I think we've reached a good point. A good point to stop. Where's our flowchart? Yeah, because like we've still got quite a bit to go. So yeah, we'll leave it here for today. But thanks for joining me again today, playing this silly little game. I still have more questions than answers, but I feel like things are more clearer than before. You know, we're learning things. We're learning, and we're on the Yukinami route somehow. We're here. We have 50% affection, guys. Wow. So good. But thank you for watching today, everyone. As for next streams, me and Mace are actually going away for a few days. So I'm not sure when we'll next be streaming, but we'll keep you updated on Twitter. But yeah, we'll be away for a little bit. Yukinami's little freak gremlin time. Yeah, that's Yukinami's little freak show. that's what I'll title next stream. Yukinami's little freak show. But yeah, we'll see you again soon, and I'll keep you updated on when we're going to stream again. But other than that, thank you so much for coming today and seeing my little stream. I'll definitely be streaming some more of this. We're gonna see what the hell is happening here. And I'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.